Yo, what's up, manga fans? This is Raphael from C Manga, and I'm here to give you a review of this week's chapter of Bleach 575 The Killer's High. So, yeah, it was another quick chapter this week. Not much, too much really happened, but at the same time, it was better than last week, in my opinion. I mean, the action seemed much more interesting and, as I said, fuller than last week, which was kind of more of a standstill. The plot kind of seemed like it's starting to move again. And I'm starting to realize what the intention behind Kubo's fight, Kubo's idea behind this fight. It seems like he's kind of made Gremmy like, a perfect match or partner to go up against Kenpachi. I mean, majority of this chapter, it kind of referenced that Gremmy is this, this kind of beast, monster that should be kept away at all costs. And he's been released now, and he's been released to fight another monster. So basically this fight is to determine who is the bigger beast, the monster of all of them. And from what the Stern Ritters say, Gremmy is definitely the most powerful Stern Ritter, especially with his ability, the imagination ability. But if Kenpachi was to kill him now, that would make him even more like immense monster than Gremmy is. So yeah, I think this is kind of what Kubo is trying to do, or trying to convey. But I just feel like he could convey it a bit quicker, like use obviously more panels wisely rather than dragging things out. But as I said, this chapter was better than last week's standstill one. So yeah, I enjoyed what Kenpachi did at the beginning, where he's completely cut through that solid steel beam that Gremmy tried to use as a defense for himself. And he's wrecked, like, I'd say more than half of the arena with that swing. And from a distance we can see one of the Stern Ritters asking Narc. He's basically commenting on how impressive Ken is to be fighting on par with Gremmy, but he's curious why Juha would release that thing into the wild. So I'm assuming he's talking about releasing Gremmy. And then we see that black Stern Ritter, who still doesn't have a name. He's the guy wearing the glasses, he's got the staff, and he's sitting on a cloud. He says, yeah, I agree on that. It's probably better to keep him locked up forever, but it's like, you're a monster as well. And there's all banter between them, each of them calling each other monsters. But they both agree that Gremmy is the biggest monster, and they even say from this distance it's better for them to leave, because getting caught in one of his imaginations is possible even from that distance. And Narc basically seems quite feeble in terms of his opinion on Gremmy. It's like he's saying, imagination was, never really much of an ability. He's kind of saying you can't really do much with imagination, but after seeing like Gremmy do like the impossible with imagination, it kind of makes like, doing something feeble, or it's just like, anything you trying to do can never match up to Gremmy. This guy is a monster. So Gremmy's impressed with Kenpachi basically being able to figure out that the imagination waned on Yuchiro because he was distracted, and Ken sends her off to go and be healed by Asane. So from here we basically see like Ken is starting to draw out the true nature in Gremmy, that he's a monster who enjoys fighting and killing just like Kenpachi himself. And he asks him, like, if you're really the strongest Quincy, why are you not trying to kill me? Like, why wouldn't you want to fight one of the strongest and beat them? And it's like getting distracted by another person while your opponent is in front of you. That's not a true fight. And Kenpachi goes into a rage and starts fighting. Gremmy's trying to hold him back with like pulling up pillars and throwing from the ground and hitting him with it. And from here Gremmy starts to have thoughts about like confused thoughts that he's never thought before, where he's like, I've never really thought of beating an opponent before. I mean, no opponent has ever dared try, challenge me, because they're all weaker. I'm superior. And it's like he said all opponents know that they're weaker than him. So why is it like Kenpachi has basically brought out this feeling of him of wanting to kill? He's like, why is this guy making me want to kill him? And he just like kind of just switches, his face goes sadistic. He brings out all these cannons and guns, fires off missiles at Kenpachi. And there was one awesome panel I liked where we see one of the missiles sliced in half, and it reminded me of a game I played quite a few weeks ago. I guess you guys remember it, Metal Gear Rising, where you can cut through stuff. So yeah, Kenpachi's cleanly sliced through it and it's blown up. And then Kenpachi's come out of the dust and he's like, oh, I see you finally used your hands now. And it's like that expression you're showing is a very good one, and like Gremmy's face is turned demonic. He's grinning like an evil little child, and Kenpachi's noticed that Gremmy's starting to enjoy fighting himself now. So it's not just, you know, Kenpachi just enjoying fight. He's drawn out, you know, the evil, sadistic, hunger-driven monster that Gremmy truly is. So hopefully now that we've, you know, the fighting has moved on a bit and we're getting somewhere, hopefully next week the fighting is going to be much more serious. Maybe we'll see a Volston dig from Gremmy soon, and as I said, whatever else happens after that. As I said, I'm starting to get a bit more excited again, because last week kind of just, you know, killed the mood and the pacing for me, but this week's kind of brought it back up. But as I said, the pacing could still be a bit quicker, and, you know, a lot more could have happened, but I'm not going to complain too much. This week kind of got its point across. Two monsters are clashing. Who's the bigger monster? Who's the bigger alpha male? Whatever you want to call it. This is what it's coming down to. Which monster is baddest and biggest and scariest. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It was interesting to see Gremmy's personality change from this calm little kid who just loves making tricks and imaginations to this sadistic boy who basically like, I want to kill you now. And as I said, it was a really nice change. So yeah, I'm also interested in Kenpachi's you know, his persona. It seems quite calm still, even though he's got the sadistic nature with him. It's like the way he ordered, you know, Yachiro to go off, it seemed quite composed as well. And then the way he was questioning Gremmy was quite composed as well, rather than, you know, just, you know, usually it's just like hit, swing, that's it. He actually questioned Gremmy and made him think about, why is he fighting? What doesn't he really want to fight for real? So that was it. That was good to see. But yeah, that's all I can say about this chapter. It was, you know, better than last week. It's starting to get the plot moving again, and hopefully the fight will be better next week. So, or start to get more intense. So yeah, that's all I can say. I enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the next one. So you guys know the usual. If you got any opinions, comments, or predictions about this and next week's chapter, leave them in the comment box below. And also, if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more content that you can find in the channel, and I'll speak to you guys next week.